So, welcome everyone. We got just about to get into the Medicare annual enrollment period. I'm here with Joe and Greg from BGA Insurance. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit of Medicare. We're going to talk about your annual notice of change. And if anybody has any questions, there's a chat box below in Facebook and YouTube. Looks like we have a bunch of viewers watching, so feel free to ask any questions, and the guys will, try to answer questions for you. What I wanted to do is start off with some Medicare news. So, Greg or Joe, if you guys have anything you just want to start off with quickly before we jump into some of the topics.
Sure. So every year, the biggest question asked of us is, what's my Medicare premium going to be next year? What are they going to take out of my Social Security? And we don't have finalized numbers yet. We have some preliminary information, so don't take this to heart yet until we know for sure. Proposed right now is a 2.7% increase from last year. So from your $144.60 a month, if you fit into the group that most do. Preliminary, they're talking about going up to $148.50 a month. And again, that's, we're ahead of ourselves a little bit. It's still in Congress. Based on the current situation with COVID, there's a lot being proposed. The Senate passed a bill is working on a bill called the HEALS Act, which is saying that they don't want to raise Medicare at all. The House has passed the HEROES Act, which is where the 2.7% I think comes from. I'm sure they're going to either meet in the middle. If you had to make an educated guess this year, I don't see how they're going to raise this. I don't know if there's going to be an increase in Social Security. So, most of you unaware, you're protected that if Social Security, your Medicare can only go up as much as your Social Security. It can't ever go up more. So if Social Security doesn't increase, those of you on Medicare already won't see an increase. But again, it's just, I'm telling you what's proposed to be prepared for it. It's nothing groundbreaking. A $4 increase is not great. It's not bad, but we deal with what we deal with, and hopefully they come to the table and decide not to increase this on anybody.
All right. So what I wanted to do is we're about at that time of year where people are going to start getting their annual notice of change. And for anybody new to Medicare, I was wondering if one of you guys could explain, what that is, what should they be looking out for, and what do they need it for? Do they have to hold on to the document, or what's the purpose of it?
Joe, you want to take that? Or you want me to?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. There's some sort of sound. If I come through on my end. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Now I can, yes.
Okay. It might be a little bit lagged. So I was just saying that a lot of people are going to be getting their annual notice of change this year, in September or right in the early stages of October. So I was wondering if you can explain, or Greg, if you want to jump in, what is the annual notice of change? What is it used for, and why do people need that for the Medicare enrollment period?
Well, yeah, okay. So the annual enrollment period, October 15th through December 7th, obviously, and we've gone over this plenty of times, where you can make a change to your drug plans, your Part D drug plans, and make a change to your Medicare Advantage plans, or if you're on Medicare, you gotta go back to traditional Medicare, and vice versa. So you get your notice of change. A lot of times with the drug premiums, the formularies, different copay. So in other words, let's say you have SilverScript and you're paying $33 a month. Notice of change will let you know what that premium is going up, or if it's staying the same. So every year there's a lot of different changes. Last year, Humana had a plan, and I forget, I think it was at Greg, for $13 a month, and shot up to $59. Or if it's $22 a month, up to $59. A lot of people did not read those letters when they came in, and after December 7th, they found that their premiums had risen, and were quite upset. And we're trying to get on different drug plans to bring the premium down. Because let's say you have a Medicare recipient who's on maybe 2 generics, and it's not costing them a whole lot. Well, now they're on a plan for $59 a month that they could really probably go to a plan that would be $15, $14, maybe $20 a month to cover those costs. And now they're kind of overpaying for a drug plan that they didn't need to. So it's very important when you get those notices in the mail to kind of go over that and look at the premium changes if there are any. And like I said, always get in touch with us, email's the best way because we're always going to review your drug plan for you if you're a client of ours, and it's a free review. And we may say, hey, this drug plan ABC company that you've been on for the past year or so, that's still good for 2021, or you can make a change to XYZ. So that's and it goes. And it's the same with the Medicare Advantage plans. If there's any changes, a lot of time premium changes, copay changes, plans change. So the other thing is we had gotten notice that anybody who's on a Vision RX, it's not a brokered product this coming year. So it's still probably a fine plan, but I urge all my clients or every other BGA client to get in touch with their broker, because if you have a question now after 2021, I'm not really, I can't broker that product. So there's certain questions I can't answer for you. You'd have to call their toll-free number at that point and find out any information, where in years past, I could always answer those questions for you because I am appointed with that company. So that's going to change where, brokers can no longer, enroll their clients into Envision RX. And that's, might not be a big deal to you, but it's something that we should look at. And there's going to be other opportunities out there with all the new plans that are making changes that are coming out this year.
Nice. Greg, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, something that, really with the annual notice of change, it's really important not to throw that out, at least not right away. Take a look at it, see what your benefits are. See if you're, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan and it's $30 a year this year, as Joe mentioned, even with the Humana prescription plan last year, make sure you look at the premium. Make sure it literally lists for you, like side by side, like here's your benefit, here's the cost, here's what it was in 2020, here's what's going to be in 2021. So if your primary doctor was $0 last year and you look and you go, oh, geez, now it's $10. But if you don't look at that, you don't really know. You're not going to know what questions to ask. We're not permitted until October 1st to give out plan information, but we are seeing some trends in the plans. A lot of the plans seem to be doing a little bit better after this year. Something we have seen a lot of, especially in these plans, is that telehealth is such a big deal right now. I think you're going to see a lot of plans with $0 copays for that. So when you get your annual notice of change, telehealth is probably the last thing that was on your mind when you bought your 2020 plan. It could be the first thing in your mind now. You want to maybe look in there and find it. And obviously, if there's ever a question, just call us right away. We can't reach out to every single client. We're hoping that you read that annual notice of change. But that's why we're doing things like this. We're sending emails. We're sending you newsletters. We're doing phone calls because there are times where there could be a major change in one of your plans, and we're trying to alert you to that. But again, this year, the trend I think we're going to see is that some of these plans should get a little bit better. But even more of a reason to call, because where your plan might go from $37 to $30 a month, we could have some plans that go down even more. Copays that are going down, and a lot of them are, looking to offer some of those extra benefits, some of those sweeteners like dental, more comprehensive dental or different things like that.
Yeah, we had I'm not going to name the company, the carrier today, but we did have a webinar today on one of the carriers that we do sell, and they were going over the plan changes this year, more or less. The extra benefits, and they were pretty interesting. So, anybody who's on a Medicare Advantage plan this year, no matter what company, you should get in touch with your broker, because there's some nice little benefits coming out in some plans this year that we're going to look forward to. That's going to benefit you, like over-the-counter spending and things like that that we kind of learned about today. So, again, we're not able to talk about it till October 1st, but giving you plenty enough notice in early September to keep that in mind. And it's something you definitely want to look at. You want to give a call or an email, shoot an email, and we could definitely go over that come October 1st, all the new plan changes that are going to be out there.
Something else to go on with that, for a lot of folks, if you have a Medicare supplement, you do not get an annual notice of change. That's always a question. Folks, Medicare supplement, Greg, I didn't get anything. What's my premium going to be for January 1st? Well, for most of you, for your Medicare supplement, your premium doesn't change until you hit your anniversary date. So if you started that plan in June, your premium doesn't change till June. So a lot of folks say, well, Greg, if I don't have the notice of what my premium is going to be, how will I make a change during annual enrollment? And what if it's too late? So if your premium doesn't change till June, the nice thing about supplements are they can be changed all year long. So you can go from supplement to supplement any time of year. So you get your notice for an increase or in price. We can work on that any month of the year. What we can't do though is you get a premium change on your supplement in June. We can't change it to an Advantage plan at that point. So if you have an interest in going to Advantage, you still got to make that decision during the annual enrollment period. But I get that question a lot. Folks started their supplement on January 1st. December 1st, they get their price change for their supplement. They go, gee, I only have 7 days to change something. Well, that's not true. With a supplement, you can change it any month of the year if you're going from supplement to supplement. So for those of you with a supplement, annual enrollment, the most important thing is locking down that prescription plan and having the right one in place.
So the people who get an annual notice of change, are they just people that have original Medicare or Medicare Advantage plans?
No.
If they don't have
Medicare Advantage and Part D prescription plans. So they're the two that will get the annual notice of change.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so we should see that. It's the 8th. A lot of them try to get them out by the last week of September. They are supposed to be in your hands by October 1st, the latest. But it's not crazy to see them get out there and buy, during the first week of October. Okay.
We have a question from Cynthia. She says, can you explain the process of changing plans on this video? So I'm assuming she means, if it's the enrollment period and she got her annual notice of change, what does she do if she wants to make a change?
Well, let's talk Medicare Advantage first. So let's say you have an HMO with Independence Blue Cross, and you're looking to get back to original Medicare. So the idea behind that is during the annual enrollment period from October 15th through December 7th, you can contact us, and we can kind of go over what original Medicare covers, A and B, and then show you how to supplement it with a Medigap plan. Plans A through N. You got Plan G and Plan N and Plan F that are very popular in Pennsylvania that we pretty much sell year round. And so with that comes now we have to ask you about 30 health questions to see if you qualify, because unlike a Medicare Advantage plan, okay, there's no health questions. You automatically qualify. With Medicare supplements, Medigap plans, we have to ask you those qualifying questions. Blood pressure. They're liberal questions. Blood pressure, cholesterol is not going to hurt you. It's the main diseases, Parkinson's, cancers, and things like that. And then at that point, if you get approved, and then obviously we're going to go over a Medicare Part D plan for you, and because you need a Medicare Part D plan, drug plan, to go with your Medicare supplement. And once you sign up for that, that'll automatically cancel out your Medicare Advantage plan at the end of the day on December 31st, and everything starts up January 1st for you. Same thing with the drug plans. If you're just looking to change your Part D plan, October 15th through December 7th, we go through it with our clients hundreds and hundreds of times during that period. And we'll go over the different variations of drug plans that are out there pertaining to what you're taking, and find you the best plan that's going to save you the most amount of money throughout the year. Same thing if you're going for Medicare, original Medicare, or a Medicare Advantage plan. That period from October 15th through December 7th is when you can make that change, and that's just a matter of going over the benefits with you, showing you how different it is from original Medicare, and getting you signed up for that. And with most Medicare Advantage plans, the Part D plan is built into the plan. So it's not like we have to go out and get you a separate Part D plan. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think so. I do want to point out that Greg actually did a video in the past about changing your prescription drug plans because of how much they can cost if you make a mistake. And if you're on YouTube right now and you're on our YouTube channel, you can look for some helpful videos. And in one of the videos, Greg discusses, why you should talk to him first if you're on medication, because the difference you could pay monthly for the drug plan could be immense, depending on what you pick. So,
yeah. I want to add into that. This year's a little bit of a different year with the whole COVID thing, and we're, every year in the past, we were doing home calls, and so it's not hard to, for those people who were nervous about having somebody over at your kitchen table, it's really not hard to go over the benefits with you over the phone. And we have our Medicare full page site that is fantastic. You could actually see the plans and what each Medicare Advantage plan offers. And with technology, everything's an online application now. So it's not hard. I bring this up because some people might say, hey, you know what? Years past, I've always had a broker come over or a salesperson from a certain company, and I'm afraid to do that right now. BG is very equipped to basically do everything over the phone and online. And don't be afraid to reach out, because you could still make a change. And you know what? We could all stay safe. I hope to get out there and do some house calls this year also. But I know a lot of stuff will be done over the telephone. And the good thing about that is we're going to be able to reach a lot more of you. Okay. Years past, I mean, you could only see so many people in a day, and people would wait till the last second on December 7th. And sometimes you just can't see them. But now with the way we run our business, and technology has really helped us out in the last couple of years, we could really talk to a lot more people and get a lot more work done this way.
Great. So we have another question from Ronald. This is interesting. Can I have an Advantage plan and a supplement plan at the same time? Anybody want to take that one?
Yeah, so no, unfortunately you cannot. So Ronald, to give you the basics of how it works, when you have a supplement, you have original Medicare A and B, and your supplement is picking up the gaps in Medicare. You know, they talk about, well, Medicare pays 80% of my medical bills, your supplement would pick up the other 20%. So it pays after Medicare. When you have an Advantage plan, you're kind of reversing this. You're putting your Advantage plan in as the primary now, and you're like electing to put your Medicare asleep. So your Medicare Advantage plan, which is Part C of Medicare, is actually taking over for A and B. So you couldn't have a supplement, because if you had a supplement, they would never get a bill, because if your Advantage plan is your primary now, they're paying the bill and they're not going to send it to your supplement. And vice versa, if you have, Medicare is your primary and you try to set up for an Advantage plan, you're not going to be able to, the system won't take both. You could accidentally sign up for both and be paying money for no reason. And that's one of the things we like to review with people, make sure they're not doing something like that. But yeah, you can't put both together at the same time. If you have an Advantage plan, it's going to cover your A, hospital, B, medical, D, drugs, wrap it all together. If you have a supplement, you're going to have A and B. Your supplement will take care of the gaps in A and B, and then you'll separately purchase Part D for your prescription coverage. Backing up for a second, though, so hopefully that answered your question, but backing up to what Joe was talking about with reviews and prescriptions, we developed a really great page on our website. And Ryan, I'm sure you could put this up on this slide or maybe put it up somewhere else. So for this enrollment period, because we know a lot of folks are not going to be in touch with us in person, we're going to try and do a lot of things and have it all together for you for phone calls or webinars, however we have to do this. But the webpage I'm referencing is something new this year where you can go on, you can put in all of your prescriptions. It actually allows you to drop down, you start typing your prescription, it drops down a menu, you pick them out, you pick out your favorite pharmacy or a couple of pharmacies, and then we'll have the information on our end so that we can look all this up. So upon the first time we talk, the first webinar, the first phone meeting, however we do it, we're going to have the evaluation done for you already. So we're not on the phone for 2 hours because I'm looking through and trying to find you the best plan. We're already ahead of the game. So it's just something we developed. And then I did see, it looks like Ronald get a follow-up question. If you have employer insurance, it's very dependent on the employer. So if you have employer insurance and you qualify for Medicare, it's something you want to discuss with your employer. Your employer may require you to take Part B of Medicare, or he or she, or they may tell you can defer it. So if you work for an employer with more than 20 or more people that are insured, typically you can defer Medicare Part B and just stay on the insurance with your employer. If you're under 20 people, though, a lot of times then they want you to take Part B. And some workplaces will say not only take Part B, but why don't you just go find a supplement or Advantage plan that works for you. In fact, some of the companies we work with will help subsidize that, because paying for your Medicare insurance is a lot less money than paying for your major medical through them. So if you do have employer insurance, it's something to talk to your employer about if they're going to require you to take Medicare or not. If they say yes, take Medicare, that's where we come in and try to help you find a plan that matches up.
So, go ahead, Joe.
The other thing I run into a lot of times, some people will ask me, well, I do have employer insurance and I'm allowed to stay on it, but I was told that I they get confused that I need the Medicare or I need Part B. If you have employer insurance and it's a group plan and it's not requiring you to be on Part B, don't take Part B because you're paying for something that you're not using. A lot of people make that mistake. They've been paying for 5 years for Part B and they've had employer insurance all along. So I run into that a lot. The other thing is I'll run into folks who stay on their employer insurance past 65, and it's a lot more expensive to pay out of their paychecks than it would be to get on Medicare. So it's always worth a phone call just to price it out and see what comes out better for you. Some HMO plans that employers offer are hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month, where you might be able to get on a Medicare plan for a lot less money and save you a lot of money. So it's always worth reaching out to just go over the numbers, because sometimes Medicare is the way to go. And again, I'd love to get you business, but I'm also going to tell you, hey, if that employer insurance is better and you're saving a lot of money by not getting on Medicare, I'm going to kind of point you in the right direction, and not tell you not to take Medicare at that point.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. I was on the phone with someone today, matter of factly, and he was on his wife's work plan, which was fairly expensive for them. Not too much, but expensive. But he was looking at his Medicare options because he's eligible in October. And we pretty much decided going to Medicare would be the better move because his plan through his wife's workplace has a $3,000 deductible. So, he's using the plan, so he's got to go through that deductible every year. Getting on the Medicare was a little more for him than their cost share with the employer. But in the end, it was a lot better because they didn't have to go through a $3,000 deductible every year over and over. So it actually worked out a lot better. In some cases, there's no deductible and you just have a basic, PPO type plan. It may work out a lot better for you to stay where you're at with your health work insurance. But that's why we evaluate. That's why we go over these things.
So, Greg, I just wanted to quickly show the form you were talking about with prescription drugs. So basically what this does is just a convenient way to add your information. So your name, email, phone number. But then there's actually a searchable drug database. So if you're not sure what the spellings are, or you just want to make sure everything is correct and consolidated, you can search from it on a list that we've put together here. You can actually add your dosage and a number of other things. And this way, when you're done filling out this form, what's going to happen is basically it's going to be sent to Greg or Joe. And it would basically just, it's an easy way for them to keep track of everything that you are currently taking. You can add any drugs you couldn't find, preferred pharmacies, and again, just an easy, convenient way to send everything over so that the guys can find you the best price for what you have.
Yeah, it just makes everybody's life easier because I played around with the tool myself, and when you start typing in your drugs, and let's use a fairly typical one like lisinopril. You type in LIS, the drug comes right up, and then the dosages come up too. So you take 10 milligrams, 20 milligrams. It's very easy to find, drop it in there, just so we know we're getting it right. Because the other interesting thing when we do this a lot of times is the dosage can really dictate the price. So a really good example of this is one called fenofibrate, which is a pretty common generic drug. But if your dosage is 145 micrograms versus 137 micrograms, it's a really, really big difference in price. And, your doctor's not thinking that. Your doctor puts you on the dosage he or she thinks is best for you, but maybe you're better off with one larger dosage or two smaller doses, take two. But we want to really make sure we get that right, because if we get it wrong, then you may not be covered for the drug you're looking for. And if you've given us the wrong one, you could pay, you could end up paying a big difference. So, and sometimes it also gives us some tools to look up to say, hey, I'm not a doctor, but you can take a look at these different dosages and see the difference in price and maybe show it to your doctor to see what he or she thinks.
All right, great. All right, we're coming up on half an hour here. The only other topic I had for today was if somebody wants to add dental and vision. I think we covered it. Joe glanced over it, very quickly. But if you guys want to just quickly, maybe one more time summarize, if somebody wants to add dental or vision to their benefits, how would they go about doing that?
Well, a lot of the Medicare Advantage plans, they have, supplemental dental and vision that you could add to their plans, or they cover the very basics, the x-rays, the cleanings, and it varies from plan to plan. But if you have Medicare, original Medicare and you have a Medigap plan, we do carry a couple of dental, vision, and hearings all in one plans. The one I really kind of show is from Aetna. I mean, everybody knows the name Aetna, so I mean, it's very easy to work with. Their online applications are great. There's no health questions involved. I think personally, when you look at dental, vision, hearing plans all across the board, they all cover almost the same benefits. Maybe a couple of benefits vary. But this one, I think, is pretty inexpensive. And again, like I said, Aetna is pretty well known. You'll find that more times than not that your eye doctor or dentist does take it. And again, it's also got the hearing benefits involved in it also. And so, it has made it real easy to add that on with their online application process.
All right. You guys have anything else you want to add? I guess we're coming up on about half an hour here. I don't want to take it too long. Otherwise, if someone's watching it later, we don't want it to go too long for them. Any final thoughts from either of you guys? We'll start with Greg. If there's anything you want to talk about, I know we're going to probably be back next week or 2 weeks from now. So, people have an opportunity to stop in again.
Sure. Nothing really to add tonight because again, this is very preliminary. We know annual enrollment's still a little bit away. But I guess the biggest thing is to say, keep your eyes open for that notice of change. Don't go crazy if you see it. You don't like what you see. That's why you come and talk to us. We can try to find you the best options. And, we're going to be on again even before they come out. So keep watching. We're always going to try and bring you some really important information, bring you the latest news. Maybe by the next time we speak next week, we'll have a little more clarity on what the Medicare copays or deductibles are going to be. So hopefully we have all that info for you, but just keep watching, subscribe to us, take a look, ask your questions, email us, call us, whatever is your best form of communication. I think we take text messages too, whatever's easiest. So stay in touch and keep an eye out for that notice of change.
Yeah. And for me, I mean, it's still early. It's September. A lot of things, people are still getting back from vacations and, we're gearing up for October. Once October 1st hits, obviously, we could show the plans that are out. But I would just start getting your emails together and shoot us an email, and we could send you a link for the drug, for the tool there to implement your prescriptions and dosages and get that back to us. And I always keep a file like this year. I call it 2021 drug plan. So. As I get emails coming in with people's updated prescriptions, I just throw it right into that file and I start from the first one all the way to the last one. So once October 1st hits, we're able to do those analyzations and get you out, the correct information that you should be signing up for this year if you're making a change or staying where you put. So I would start getting those emails together and start getting them out to us. Because once October 1st hits, again, it's a first come, first served basis. We'll get you all done, but the first people will get them to us will obviously be first. So you just want to be in the queue, and then we can get you out that information as early as possible, even before October 15th hits. So that's always a good thing to start early.
All right. So that wraps it up for this week. We'll come back next week with some other topics or any news or an update from Greg on the Medicare world. And until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Take it easy. Have a good night.
Take care.